Hi guys, welcome to UKPW Insider. I am Ross Briffitt, of course, and my guest tonight, I'm honoured to be joined by Trashman Marcus Broome, former UKPW Tag Team Champion. Marcus, hi, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Look, I've worn my medal. Got a medal.
Yeah, mine's here somewhere. Yeah. So, how did you actually get into wrestling?
I like having a scrap, Ross. I like having a fight, really. As not a lot of people know, before I became Britain's toughest rubbish collector, I was actually a competitive judo player. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to turn my hand to a bit of a scrap in the ring. And I had a little... Interestingly enough, I had a little break from judo, which I've now gone back to, and I'm a coach and an instructor. And while I was having a break, I decided I'd grapple. I'd grapple in the squared circle. So I used some of my skills and crossed them over into that territory, as well as being quite handy with a broom.
So, were you a fan of wrestling before you actually got into it?
Yes, definitely. In fact, one of the reasons why I started judo when I was younger was because I liked wrestling, and it was the closest thing that I could do where I lived to it. And to me, it was great. It was having a wrestle, it was having a scrap, it was having a roll around, and I love all of those things. So for me, it was ideal. And then years later, when I was taking it a little bit easier from judo, I thought I'd make the jump to it, and so here I am now as a trash man.
So, who actually brought you into the business?
I in terms of like shows and things like that?
Yeah, or like even training, because I'm assuming you went to training school.
Yeah, I did for a little bit. In fact, like there's quite a few people that are on the UKPW roster that have helped me, with my training over the years. So there's like a wide variety of people that I've learnt from. So there's a lot of people there. And then I was just fortunate enough to get in the ring and get on some shows myself. And I think that's the best place for learning, and that's the best place to, see if you've got the minerals for it, really.
Yeah. On the job training.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what's your first memory of UKPW?
Oh, blimey. I haven't got the best memory in the world. I reckon probably laying on my back, being very sweaty, maybe being pinned, but I think I kicked out. Yeah. In all seriousness, I think it was just a general memory of it being like a really friendly group of people, and just being quite excited that I was getting to do some shows at UKPW and wrestling for Anton. I think I'd been to some of the shows that he put on for another company at the Falconwood venue. So, I already had kind of like an idea of how that worked. But when he put on the first couple of shows, I felt quite honoured and privileged that he asked me to be part of them. So it was quite an exciting thing for me and a great opportunity. I think Michael Bolton is on Top Pops too.
So, you mentioned the other promotion. Was that RNB?
Yes, it was. So I think that's how I met Anton and got to know him through that. But I think he was a bit of a Trashman fan, and I'm quite pleased that he saw a bit of potential in me to be able to to win the crowd over and put on a good bout and have a bit of a tear up in the ring. So, you know, for that, I'm always, anyone I've ever been in the ring with or anyone that I've ever learned anything from or, you know, that's put me on, I'm always very privileged and honoured. And, you know, I think it's great. Anytime anyone has the opportunity to be in a wrestling ring or to be able to wrestle in front of people, I think is a very important thing, and it's an honour and a privilege to be able to do that. And I genuinely believe that in any kind of this, it's a sport as well. It's wrestling. Wrestling is one of, if not the oldest sport or competitive entity known to man. So it's or humankind, shall we say? It's a very competitive thing, and I love it. Yeah.
So can you remember your first actual match?
I think. I'm not sure. I think it might have been Dell. Or my first match in UKPW.
No, just in general.
In front of a crowd, I can't actually remember.
We can go for UKPW.
But I think even in UKPW, I think it might have been Dale Jones, maybe. I don't know why. I've wrestled him so many times. I'll just say that. Yeah, I'll just say that.
That leads quite.
And then I hope that's right.
I was going to say that leads quite nicely actually onto the next thing I was going to ask. Obviously, you had quite a good feud with Dale Jones, including the dumpster match.
He's a horrible person.
He's
not very nice to people, is he?
But
what is he wearing?
So who was the brain shot? Like, who thought of the dumpster match?
Well, I'd like to point out that the dumpster match is my speciality match, which to this day I've never actually won one. If you was looking at it, I think maybe I've had 3 or 4. You'd have to check my Wikipedia entry for that, but I think it's possibly 2. 2 I've lost, and I think I've drawn one of them. In fact, I ended up in a dumpster with another competitor, and then we were wheeled away by a horse and a highwayman. It's a true story.
Okay, I'll jump to that question actually. What's some of the funniest stories that you've got in wrestling?
Oh, it's all one big laugh, isn't it? Really, it's all one big barrel of fun. I don't know. Probably something involving Steve's pants, or I can't really think off the top of my head. I did wrestle a bear once. Yeah. I think. Oh, I did soil myself a few times. In fact, even an elbow drop, my finishing move. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was unfortunate, really. I think it was the food that was to blame as well that I'd had beforehand. I've had quite a few good specialist matches as well involving bins. Bins, dumpsters, I like them. I like a good fire extinguisher. I like a good sandwich. I like getting fish fingers or beef burgers involved in a match. Any kind of food-based object in a match is good. Maybe a cream pie or a flanges, I believe that's the correct term. A birthday cake's always good. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things I've seen in dressing rooms and locker rooms. I don't think I could divulge them. You know, people bringing in various animals, people bringing in, bringing in various lavish gifts. People also, in fact, this is a little known secret I'm going to let you into now. Most of the UKPW roster, before a show, okay, they're all keen gardeners, and they've actually, what they do before every show is they set up, it's a model village, a replica model village of Gillingham. They set that up before the show, and then they also lay out flower beds. Now, I have it on good authority that CJ Gunner is big into rhododendrons, and I think the hitman Gabriel Myers, he's quite a keen horticulturalist. He likes shrubbery. And Dow Jones, he's more of a cactus man. Yes. Ross Briffitt, I don't know if you've heard of that guy. He's a keen gardener himself. He's deadly with a watering can. Well, I think his favourite plant. Right, here we go. I'm going to turn this around. I reckon your favourite plant is probably a Venus flytrap. Do you want to know what mine is? Do you want to know what mine is?
Go on.
Well, I've got two. And my favourite, if we're going to go for a vegetable, which I suppose is a plant, isn't it? Is probably something like samphire. But if we're going to go for something floral, then probably something simple like a daffodil. Yeah, or a tulip. A tulip's always good. So there we go. But that's enough of my questions. Over to you.
Yeah. Okay. Some of the things that I'd never thought I'd talk about on a wrestling interview. I've completely forgotten my train of thought now.
I've got a dog here as well. There's a dog down there.
Yeah, the dog showed no interest whatsoever.
No. He's usually better for questions. He's better prepared than I am. Right, what's the next one? What's your list? Shoot.
Right. So, what would you say your favourite match is?
Oh, favourite match? Well, yeah, we talked about the dumpster match. Yeah, it's always one of my favourites. In fact, the one with Dow Jones was a really good one. I wrestled a bear once. That was good. Any time I step in the ring with Stone Cold Steve Manelli, he's a formidable adversary, the highest caliber. He's very mean, and one thing he doesn't like is an old trout. To be honest, yeah, I can't really. I think I like them all. All the ones that I win. And even if I lose, I like those as well.
Especially when you get to chase them off with a dustpan and brush.
Exactly, either a dustpan and brush, any cleaning implement I like. I like a wide broom. Now you've got to have a decent sized head on that broom really to get good purchase, and to be able to make them exit the ring in a timely fashion. Biggest broom head. There we go. Here's one for you, a little fact. I once procured in Whitby. It was I believe it was 4 feet. It was easy. It was easy a good 4 feet. It was easy a good 4 feet. And now legend has it that in a stock cupboard in Chipping Sodbury, there is a 7-foot broom head. Now, I don't know who's going to use a 7-foot broom head. I mean, you're talking a logistical nightmare. Even getting it in and out. Even getting it in and out of the ring. Even getting it in and out of the doors. I mean, you're going to have a double set of doors in and out there. I mean, this is the territory where you're talking about. They're possibly going to use the Navy or the Army to drop it in to the venue. And that's going to be a military operation. I mean, that's going to be on par with the vaccination. You know, it's mind-boggling. So for that reason alone, I don't think we're going to see any wrestling shows this year, definitely, and the beginning of next year. If we've got to get hold of a broom that size, Ross, I don't even know. I don't even know what we were talking about. All I know is I was talking about a 7-foot broom.
Yeah. Even I've lost my train of thought. So who would you like to face on the British wrestling scene?
I've got to say, it'd probably have to be Marcus Waring from MasterChef. I don't like his attitude. Quite frankly, Ross, he's making a mockery of that show. I used to have greatest respect for him. But then there was just something about the past 2 episodes of the last series. He I don't know. He turned a baddie. He was like proper heel. You know, he usually never says a bad word about the contestants in the last week of the episodes, but he was picking them apart. I didn't like it. I felt sorry for those contestants. I didn't like it, but he's a chef, so you know, I don't really know if he's going to be in the wrestling ring. So I suppose wrestlers, probably another animal, I reckon. Quite like to wrestle an elephant.
Oh, anything's possible in British wrestling.
I know you've hinted about it before, Ross, but having a little bit of a turn in the ring, you know, having a little bit of something. I know you have hinted about it before.
Yeah, I know. I really want to, but especially on Stefan. But yeah, that's another story. Hi, Stefan. So
if you ever need a tag partner, I'm there for you. Right, you do all the work. When you need someone to come in for that last save, if it's getting a bit heated in there, just call me in and I'll back you up. But you know, I reckon you'd be able to have a good go at it in there.
I'll bear that one in mind. So on a serious subject now. We've had fun. Have you had any serious injuries?
Most of my injuries, I've definitely had a few times where I was concussed. I've definitely had that, but not anything. You know, I think I've been quite fortunate and safe. You know, with what I do. I don't really do anything crazy. So you know, I might have a couple of times early on. I think when I just started out, I might have had a couple of times where I didn't feel so great in the head department. But I think in terms of serious injuries, I always carried over a lot of injuries from when I did judo. So I'd already had shoulder dislocations and things like that. So a lot of what I'd already had, I'd carried across. So they're more niggling injuries that would flare up. Probably the worst injury I'd had recently, I'd broken, you can't really see, but I've got very, very bent, wobbly fingers because I'd broke across, they were pinned, so they had to be pinned together and they had to be put back together, both middle, those 2 fingers there, so they're slightly wonky, and they got pins in and they got a couple of screws in there, and that was actually judo that did that, which stopped me wrestling for a little while. So yeah, but it's it set me back for a while, and it was pinned up, and I was, you know, a little bit concerned that I wouldn't be able to do physical activities and sports as well as my job again. But the National Health Service did wonders with looking after my hand and putting me back together and rebuilding me. And they did a great job. But yeah, in terms of injuries and that, I'd like, you know, general wear and tear, like a bursitis on my knee, which is where it inflames and things like that. Knocked my teeth out a couple of times because they're false anyway, these teeth.
Yeah.
So there's been a few times when they've knocked them out, and I've had a nice big gap in the middle, which makes me look even more funny.
But you mentioned about your job. What's your actual job, just out of curiosity?
Well, as well as a binman, okay, which I do, of course, because I'm a trash man. My other job is I'm a tattooist, so I draw on people, and I've done that for 20 years.
So you've never thought about bringing a tattoo gun on a show?
Absolutely not. Could you imagine?
Oh dear. So, have we covered this one? Favourite wrestlers growing up?
Oh, 80s wrestling, you see, for me. So it was like golden era. Big fan of the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
You know? And when I was younger, I was always a Hulkamaniac. So that for me, you know, that kind of era, Legion of Doom, Ric Flair, you know, Ricky Steamboat, and of course, yeah, Mr. Perfect. Was a big hero, idol of mine. So, you know, to be totally honest, when I was very, very little, I was one of those kids that had watched the World of Sport Wrestling at my nan's on a Saturday, which a lot of people would do. So I've always, you know, British wrestling was there, but I think like a lot of British kids as well. We also watched the American wrestling, because that's it. You know, that was the production of that. You know, glossy giants, all shiny, big looking like superheroes. That was kind of the appeal, you know. And watching the WrestleManias didn't really get bigger than that.
So, who's your best friend in wrestling, would you say?
Best friend? Any of the good guys. Any of the good guys. Oh, no,
Okay.
Seriously, I've got people that I probably spend more time with, but I'm too much of a nice guy to say that I'd put, you know, have a favourite out there. They're all great guys, you know. Apart from the bad guys, when I have to fight them, and then they're not so good.
So, I'll do the word association in a second, but what can the fans expect from you, like when the shows come back?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Ross. Yeah, I'd like to do a few more shows. Of course I would, but I think now it's when it does come back, I think it's in the hands of younger, talented wrestlers to take the reins. And for myself, I think I've had a short time of doing it. I've had some fun wrestling. I'd like to do a few more shows, and you know, you're always going to get the same old Trashman, but I don't think I'll be as active as I have been in the past, shall we say.
Well, you could bring your friend, your alter ego, shall we say, Charlie.
Charlie Peterson. How do you know about him, Ross?
So I was actually, well, yeah, I can say this and it'll probably get edited out. I was actually going to go to a show where Charlie Peterson was actually wrestling.
You were? Wow. Maybe
I was
you'll get a chance to get along to watch him wrestle.
No, well, I was meant to be, but the stars didn't align, or basically I couldn't get a lift. So
yeah. Travel difficulties. Well, if you can't get to Charlie Peterson will get to you. That's not a threat. That was a nice, friendly promise. I'll see what I can do. You never know where he'll appear. And I mean, between you and me, there's not much difference. Like, he looks awfully similar to the Trashman, doesn't he? Really, when you think about it, there's not much. There's not much in it.
No, well, you've never seen them both in the same room at the same time.
Yeah. Now you think about it, unless someone comes up with photographic evidence, then I'm going to start asking questions about that. Yeah, very good.
Right, okay. I think on that note, it's time to go to the word association game. And we'll start off with your tag team partner and
Oh, yes.
other half of the tag team championship, former tag team champions, Sid Manelli.
Word association, first thing that comes into my head.
Yep.
Cheesy chips.
Okay. The nail.
Dreadlocks.
Maverick Mayhew.
Blue.
Connor Mills.
Connor Mills. I don't know why, just hair.
And
He's a good. I like all these people.
finally, Dale Jones.
Oh. Oh. What a horrible man.
Okay.
Cookies. Cookies with coloured, like, M&Ms, what are they called? Coloured sweet, the M&Ms, yeah. Is it M&Ms?
Believe so, yeah. I think so.
No, what are they called?
Buttons?
Nerds.
Is that your word?
Yeah, nerd.
Brilliant. Trashman Marcus Broome, thank you very much for joining me on UKPW Insider.
I've got a medal there. Oh, it's the wrong way round.
There you go.
What are you doing at the weekend then, Ross?
I've actually got another interview lined up with one of the new faces of the UKPW roster, the women's division, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, thank you. I think I'll plug that now, actually. I'm going to be interviewing Clementine tomorrow night.
Right. Good stuff. Well, keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. And also as well, Ross, it's always good to see you there at the shows. And it's always like, whenever I see it, it's always nice, nice, friendly vibe that goes on there. And you contribute to it. And also your talents as well as a commentator.
Thank you.
All right. Really good. And I definitely do want to see you do a bit in the ring at some time.
Yeah. Well, we might have to word with the higher ups.
I think we could integrate something in there. I reckon. Anytime. If there's anyone you'd like to get your hands on, you let me know.
I've got a few people in mind.
Is it a big list?
A few people.
Yeah. Get in there and have a nice scrap. That's the best way, mate.
Once again, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for talking to me and putting up with me. Look how big my nose looks. It's really big and shiny, isn't it? Here we go.
Oh, okay. On that note, I shall see you soon.
Yes, mate, you take care and hopefully see you in 2021.
Yeah, take care.
Keep it real, keep it raw, keep it safe and keep it easy. All right, see you later, mate.
See ya.